I'm doing a Copper Anvil speedrun, which just means that I'm starting a new survival world from scratch, and I'm going to see how fast I can get a Copper Anvil. The rules I'm following for this is that it's purely vanilla. I'm going to be doing a random seed. I am playing with color accurate maps on, and I will be playing where sleeping in a bed to skip time is allowed. As we get started here, I want to mention a few things. One, this is not my first attempt at the speedrun. What I'm going to be showing you is my personal best that I've done so far, and that I'm going to be voicing over the speedrun and talking about what I might have been thinking during the time and like what I'm looking out for in the world and all that kind of stuff. I won't be talking the whole time, but I'll pipe up every now and then to say some stuff. And I also recommend maybe putting the playback speed to like 1.5 times speed or 2 times speed, so that you're just not sitting here for that long, because there's a lot of nothingness that happens in the speedrun sometimes, because I'm just like looking for stuff, walking around, running around everywhere. I tabbed out of the game to start the timer. And then right here, I'm going to throw off my mask and the cloak thing, because I want to be able to see my character's face and stuff. So it's very unnecessary, technically wasting time. But I just like being able to see my character's face. And I'm just, in general, not that fond of the mask. So I'm just looking around here, finding what I can find. Picked up some flint. Picking up any food I see along the way, like berries, if I see wheat or whatever on the ground. Right here, I'm just testing to see if the rock is nappable, because I don't have in my head which rock types I can nap with, to see if I have to use flint for it. And I'm constantly keeping an eye out for like very important things, like trying to see if I can see clay on the sides of blocks, looking for more flint, and also, of course, looking for surface nuggets of copper. Open my map just to see where I was, to get an aerial view and stuff. Still just looking around me like, where's the clay? Any clay here? I think I was also like trying to check to see if there's any cactus in the water there. Because it is nice to be able to make some of the, I think they're reed baskets, hand baskets, whatever the things you put for more inventory slots. Technically not necessary, but definitely makes doing the speedrun a little easier for inventory management. Just made myself a knife blade, because I'm going to need it at some point, and I just decided then to do it. So I think I'm also noticing or looking on the map that there's like a sandy gravelly area on the map that was like black there, and that's going to be important later, because you can definitely find the surface copper nuggets above ground, of course, like in the grassy areas. But from my experience of running, doing the speedrun a few times on my own, and just running around in like new worlds, at least for me, I find it a lot easier to find like surface copper deposits in those like barren sandy gravel biomes or like areas. I don't know if it's just because there's like, I'm assuming it's more of a visibility thing and less so that they actually spawn there more. Because in those gravelly areas, it's just like flat terrain. There's no like tall grass, bushes, there's way less foliage, way less things in the way. So I'm assuming that's why it's just easier to spot. You saw right here, mine up some cattails because I'm gonna make some inventory baskets. I am also getting dried grass right now. It technically don't have to do it right now. Probably better to do it later, honestly. I probably shouldn't have done it right now because a higher priority is like finding clay and also the copper. But the dry grass is definitely useful for later, both for pit kilns and also because we're gonna want to be able to make a hay bed to be able to skip time later. So ideally, I think you want to be trying to find ideally you would want to find clay first if possible. Obviously the whole time keep an eye out for if you see copper above ground, but I do think finding clay first is the ideal solution because cooking up clay or because the pit kilns they take a while. Extra ideally if you find clay and peat like right away, then that cuts down on a lot of the time for firing your clay pieces in the pit kilns, but you might not get lucky and spot peat. Sorry, I am doing one take of this and I just got like a notification on my phone. I might mute my phone. It's whatever. I can't mute my phone just in case I get an important call or something from someone, an emergency call or something. Yeah, one take. Well, where am I? What was I talking about? Clay. Yeah. So it takes a while for the pit kilns, and you don't want to be sitting around having nothing to do while that's going on. You want to be more time efficient with the speed run. So if you can find that first or as soon as possible, then that's awesome. You can get those pit kilns going while you're off searching for surface copper deposits and or doing other miscellaneous stuff. Like you also need to make some charcoal, a charcoal pit kiln, unless you could get lucky and find enough surface like coal deposit, because there's surface coal bits like brown coal and whatever that you can find on the surface. If you get lucky and find enough of those, you don't actually need charcoal for smelting the copper. But usually you're working off the information that you might not find that. So you're going to need to make a charcoal pit as well. And similarly to the clay, you probably want to start that as soon as possible because that also takes a while. I tend to kind of make the charcoal or start the charcoal pit around the same time I make the pit kilns for the clay stuff. So like maybe, I don't know, it doesn't really matter which order per se. Like maybe I'll start the charcoal or the pit kiln stuff first, chop down some trees and make the charcoal pit. You don't need a lot of charcoal. You could probably get away with 2 blocks worth of firewood and turn it into charcoal. I think I usually do like maybe 3 or 4 just to be safe in case I like really mess up or something. But I think you can get away with like just 2, maybe even 1 if you're good with the charcoal. So I've gone into the barren wasteland here. I think I collected some cattails, but I think I like stopped doing that because I didn't want to waste too much time collecting cattails. And I was like, well, I'll just look for some surface copper and maybe find some clay. I still really need to find clay. And always picking up flint as I see it. You can see that I am like sprint jumping around a lot, and that's honestly just a habit from playing Minecraft so much. It's just a Minecraft habit. I actually have zero clue if that's helpful or at all in vintagestory. It might actually be harming me. There's a good chance it might be... Oh, wait, I found copper here. This was really good. It was a lot of surface copper, so I go to the map, market copper, so that I know... So I can go back for the underground copper, because there's like very close to surface underground copper ore always under the surface deposit, or like surface nuggets, and we're gonna need those later for the copper anvil. Always gotta mark that on the map. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the sprint jump. Oh, I forgot about this. Okay, I forgot I found more copper here. That this was like insanely lucky, like great, like just finding 2 copper, like above surface, surface level copper deposits. Finding 2 so close together, like was really cool. And the first one was definitely like a good amount of like copper bits. Like you can see, I have 16. Which I think I only need 20 for like 1 tool. And so since I need 2 tools, I'm gonna need the copper pickaxe and the copper hammer for this anvil, or for this speed run. And so if I remember, I need 40 copper bits, or 40 copper nuggets. Or is it 40 copper units? I can't remember. No, I think it's 2. I don't remember the math. I'm pretty sure it's 40 copper bits and 200 units of copper. But as I was saying earlier, I'm like caught off by surprise, because again, this is like a voiceover. I'm watching it right now, and also it's been like a week and a half since I did the speed run. I just went on a trip recently, and I'm now like recording this voiceover after the fact. Oh, but what I was saying with the sprint jumping, it very well could be eating up more stamina and actually slowing me down. I don't know if the sprint jumping actually like makes me go a little faster, so I'm very well might be going slower and wasting unnecessary stamina. But it's a hard habit to break from Minecraft. I think I try at moments to not sprint jump during the speedrun, but it's really hard to break those Minecraft habits for sure. Oh, right here, that's a really good thing, a really good note. So I gathered some cattails, or I used my cattails I already have to turn it into rope, because the rope is going to be very helpful for later. I guess it's technically not necessary, but it's very nice. You're going to want the rope to create the wooden tongs, just so you can hold the hot stuff when you're melting the copper, because you're gonna want it while you're holding the copper crucible to pour into your molds. And yeah, that's pretty much the main reason. I don't know, maybe you can do this without the tongs, but it's not too hard. Just get some cattails, get the rope, and make that later. I could have made that rope probably earlier, but I forgot to. But right here, as you saw, I now have 3 baskets, 3 inventory baskets. That's definitely more than enough for this speedrun. You could probably get away with 1, 2, 0 if you want. Every time I've attempted, or almost every time I've attempted the speedrun, I've gone with like 3 baskets, and I'm like, okay, that's good enough. Don't need to waste time on a 4th one, unless I have time to kill. Sometimes, depending on my order of operations, if I have time to kill while I'm waiting for like the charcoal pit to finish cooking, or like the pick films or whatever, then I might go just for fun, get more cattails for stuff. But yeah. As you see there, I was just... Oh, wait, actually, hold on. Look, peat. I found peat. I forgot. I was so lucky in this speedrun, finding peat before doing the pick kilns. So this will be very helpful with reducing the amount of time the pick kilns take. I forget how much faster peat is for the pick kilns, but it's not, like, insanely faster, but it's a little bit faster. Like, these aren't real numbers. I'm just, like, doing some guessing right here just to give reference. But if, like, firewood, maybe that's, like... Let's say that's like 20 hours in game, then peat's probably like 16 hours in game. Those are completely wrong numbers. but just to give an idea. Tell me the correct numbers in the comments. I could just look it up later. And you can look it up later. Oh, but I think what I was saying before I found the P was that I threw away those seeds because that's taking up inventory space. Don't want those seeds. Icky, gross. Throw the seeds away. I think right now I am just really trying to find like a clay deposit because I know I have a better bet finding finding the surface copper in the barren sandy gravel area, like that gray sandy area like that I mentioned before, because it's just easier to spot them. But in that area, because it's all sandy and gravelly, there's oh my god, I forgot about this. That was a crazy hole jump. I did not know that hole was there. I made the jump and I was like, oh my god, that was almost a run ender right there. It was crazy. I'm talking a lot more during this video than I thought I would. I thought there'd be a lot more quiet moments for me. But I just have so much I can say, so many words. It's almost like a podcast kind of. I'm doing it's got podcast vibes a little bit. I forgot what I was saying before I like jumped over that scary hole. Oh yeah, in this gravelly barren wasteland, like you're not really gonna find any clay. So I was like struggling with like, what do I prioritize? Finding the copper deposits or trying to find clay, and it's me graveling or like struggling with like which one to prioritize first. But especially after the fact right now, I do think it is better to try and prioritize finding the clay just because of the time it takes to cook the clay. And also while you're looking for the clay, you can still end up finding surface copper bits. But once you've found clay and done all the clay stuff and started like even a charcoal pit, then you can go to these gravelly areas to find any like remaining copper you still haven't found. Oh boy, my voice is tired from talking. Time to drink water. Good old water bottle. Can't be without it when recording. Because I lose saturation, gumption. I don't know how else to say it. You don't notice it in my normal videos because, well, it's a lot more edited with me talking. But I have a lot of moments where like my voice is like, I need more water and this and that. Oh yeah, I found more copper here. Copper deposit, awesome sauce, mark it on the map. Still don't have enough copper bits from this for a copper pickaxe and hammer. But it's still awesome. Like I've said before, ideally I would have wanted to find clay by now, but can't get everything you want. The reason we want a hammer is because, well, we're trying to make a copper anvil, and that's going to take that takes like 900 units of copper, I believe. So it's a lot of copper, and realistically we aren't finding that much copper just like as copper like nuggets on the surface to make a copper anvil. We ain't finding enough for that. That'll take too long, and so we make the copper pickaxe and a copper hammer. And with where we found the surface like nuggets like I have right here, right under the surface there is gonna be copper, some like bits of copper ore. And so with the pickaxe we'll go back to these areas we marked, mine the copper ore, and with the hammers we'll smash them to their nuggets goodness, their yummy nuggets. I'm gonna stop there. And with that, we should be able to get enough to make an anvil. And I'm now just realizing, I think I already talked a little bit about that process, or at least parts of that earlier in this video. Whoopsie. Sorry if I did already. Part of the problem of having this be kind of like a one take recording thing. The very beginning, like the very beginning VO of this video, me like saying I'm doing a Copper Anvil speedrun and these are the rules I'm following or whatever. That did have some editing to it and some multiple takes, because I'm bad at doing things in one take sometimes for things like that, because I don't script it or whatever, and so I do multiple takes until it feels right and then like cut it up together. What was my point of that? I don't remember what my point. Oh yeah, I was saying that was cut up, take multiple takes, but the me talking over the speedrun part, this right now, one take, not cutting things up together. The most I'll do is like maybe cut out like some background, like if I accidentally make some noise in the background, or my breathing, or not my breathing, but like, I don't know, if I don't know. There'll be like minor cutouts and stuff, but it'll be one take and whatever. Look at this. This was a crazy surface copper nugget deposit. I think with this, that was enough surface copper. I think. How many did I? Yeah. Okay, I'm pretty sure 40 nuggets is like 200 units or something. So that's like more than enough. And it's like, that's awesome that I found all the copper nuggets I'm gonna need. Oh, and I found even more here. I think wait, me, go back there. Wait, did I actually not notice those copper nuggets? Oh my god, this is like, I'm a viewer now, because like that's the kind of thing of like, you as a viewer, you notice and you're like, how did the person not notice that? How are they stupid? Are they blind? Yes, I'm stupid and I'm blind. How did I not notice that surface copper there? I'm now reeling at myself. I passed up some more surface copper. It didn't matter because I had enough surface copper, or I have enough surface copper nuggets for what I need. But that's annoying. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm still like, I'm still a little upset about that. But yeah, this is not the ideal situation. I would want to have, like I said, found clay and done the clay stuff before getting all the copper I need to melt down. But it is what it is. I think right now what I'm doing is I'm gathering some grass for pit kilns in the future. Also, I did make the hay bed. I think it was mainly getting dry grass for the clay bed. I think right now I'm digging up dirt so I can make a temporary little hut of safety, because it's nighttime. It's becoming nighttime and dangerous. So I'm gonna need to make a makeshift hut. And yeah, that's what it's for, essentially. And I think I'm also still looking out for some clay. Yeah, like even during the speedrun, and especially watching it back right now, there are so many things that definitely could have been done better, things that are still room for improvement if I was just luckier in some ways, like if I just found clay first and stuff, that this could be an even shorter time. Okay, I think the speedrun, wait, should I say what it ends? I mean, you can see the video time. Is it really a spoiler, like, for me to say, the time of the speedrun? Well, I don't remember actually the time. I just know roughly the time. It's about an hour and 20 minutes speedrun, roughly. You could, it's no secret. You could see the playhead. You can see the time the video is. It's gonna be slightly long, just ever so slightly longer than the speedrun time. Yeah, an hour and 20 minutes. I think it's my personal best. I've never done faster than that, and I think it's like all things considered, it's a pretty good time to get a copper anvil up and like getting to copper anvil and like essentially being able to get to the copper age for a new survival world. That's pretty cool. But there are definitely still things that could have gone better, and a lot of like theoretically with this exact same seed, I wouldn't use this seed again because I like the idea of like random seeds, but it could have been faster. And right here, I'm probably stoked because clay. I found clay. I think this was actually my first time. I was like looking at the map earlier. I was kind of talking over. I'm probably very distracting with my unnecessary conversation and stuff. But I was looking at the maps earlier, and I think this was my first time actually identifying a clay patch from the colored map. Because I've tried that before on my own in like single player worlds and other worlds I played in. I have not successfully ever like been able to distinguish a red clay patch from the map and then actually find it. So I think I was pretty happy with myself in that moment for successfully doing that. And I didn't attempt to do that early in the speedrun because I think I was like, well, I'm not good at that, so I wasn't relying on that. But then I think at this point in the speedrun, I'm like, I just can't find clay. I have to try something. So I was looking at the maps, saw the colors, and saw things. I was like, is this clay? And yeah, so that was cool. Right now I'm just making the pick kilns. So I have clay now, wahoo! So I'm digging holes for the pick kilns. And then I think in the safe, I don't remember if I do outside. That would be dumb if I do it outside because it's nighttime right now. So I think I will be shortly going into the safety of my hut to make all the clay pottery I need. Wait, where's the clay in my inventory? Oh, did I not dig up any of the clay yet? Okay, I'm digging up the clay now. And I'll make the fun little clay pottery in the dirt hut. Apologies for the very dark video. You know Vintage Story gets very dark at night. I forget if I make a torch. I really hope I make a torch for the viewing experience, but we'll see. You can see there I heard like the noise of a scary monster and I was like, oh gosh, just need to mine a little bit more clay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I remember, a stack of clay is enough to make all the clay pottery we need. What am I doing right now? I don't know what I'm doing actually right now. Oh, maybe I do want to make a torch. So I'm getting wood for firewood to make a fire pit to then make a torch later and stuff. Oh, you also have probably seen me sometimes like intentionally breaking like leaves or like leaf bushes on the ground and stuff. And that's to get more sticks because, well, sticks are going to be helpful for making the pick kilns because you need sticks for the pick kilns. Something that's just, I think kind of interesting to think about is that I'm like almost 30 minutes into this run and I have like enough copper for the first 2 tools and all this clay, and that was all technically done and found in the first 30 minutes. It's like, that's cool. But as you can see, it's an hour and 20 speed run. So a lot of the time really do just be like a little bit of a waiting game of just cooking up or like smelting the copper cooking up the pottery stuff that you have to do and make for this, and waiting for the charcoal pit to cook, and all that takes a lot of the time. And even with using the bed to skip some time here and there, yeah, and then also the time it takes to go back to where you found copper to mine it up and then come back, smelt it some more for the anvil. Like, this all adds up to time. Oh, heck yeah, I'm making a torch right here. Let's go. And also the campfire lights up the screen. Let's go. It's more viewable and watchable. And then here I start making the clay stuff. So I don't remember what I wasn't paying attention. Okay, yeah, I'm making the pickaxe mold. Yeah, so we're gonna need a pickaxe mold for the pickaxe. And then we're gonna need a hammer mold for, you guessed it, the hammer. And oh yeah, the anvil mold, of course. And then the crucible mold, and I think that's it. So you wait, anvil mold, crucible, pickaxe, hammer. Yeah, so it's only 4 pottery items, and so that means you only really need 4 pick kilns. So not too bad, but they still all take time. I might at a later date see if I can get an even faster time than I do this time, but we shall see, because some of it is definitely just luck. Because random seed, so some of it is definitely luck. I don't know if a set seed would be any interesting, to be honest, for this. I don't really know. I don't feel like it's as interesting as like a set seed speedrun is for Minecraft sometimes. But I think a random seed's kind of interesting, so that's why I do that. But we'll see. Maybe I'll attempt this again later for a better time. Definitely let me know if you would want to see me attempt, or like see a, I would only probably upload it if I do get a new PB, but let me know if you would want to see me getting a new PB at some point, so that I know that it's something you guys would be interested in. Oh no, I'm out of water. In real life, this is a sad day. I can't really be pausing anything. I have to talk in, well, real time for me, towards watching back me speedrunning. This is very confusing what I'm trying to say. I want to go and get more water, but I can't just pause the recording, pause whatever. I want to make sure the timing of me talking over the speedrun like lines up correctly. And so I'm doing it all in one take, and I don't want the hassle of like trying to line up audio with where it should be or whatever. I just want to plop it in and be done with that, essentially, for the most part. So I think my idea is I might go and get some water real quick, and you'll be, this is almost like a pre-record, this is like a stream thing that would happen, is like leaving you for a bit in silence to go get some water or whatever, but it's a pre-recorded video that was never streamed. I just find it funny. So yeah, I'm just gonna say a few things about what I'm about to do, even though it'll be obvious, and I'm gonna get some water. I just finished making the clay pottery. I'm gonna put them in the pits. And I'm gonna fire up the pits. Likely gonna have to chop down more wood and maybe get more sticks or whatever for them. So that might be what I do at night. I also might chop down some trees for more firewood to start a charcoal pit. And who knows what I'll do? What else I will do? Okay, enjoy me doing those things, and I'm gonna get water and hopefully not take too long. Alright, I'm back. What have you hooligans been up to? Alright, so I'm chopping down some trees. Well, I guess I'll find you guys know what's happening, maybe. Actually, maybe you don't. But I'm about to find out. Okay, I think I'm okay. So I'm definitely still trying to fill up the chart or I'm definitely still trying to finish lighting the kilns, the ground kilns. Why did I forget what they're called? I forget what they're called, but I know I need sticks for those, for the pottery kilns, the fire pits, fire kiln, whatever. Pit kiln. There you go. Yeah. So I was getting sticks for the pit kilns, and then chopping down the logs for the pit kilns. And then also I'm gonna need logs for the charcoal. I've still been trying to decide if I've still been trying to decide if I should have background, if I should add in background music, even if very softly, for this video, because it is going to be like an 1.5-hour video, and this is me talking or thinking out loud before I actually make that decision, because the video at the moment of recording this voiceover, obviously the video is not finished, so I can still end up putting in some music in the background. Like what I would do if I do put music, it would probably just be like music from the game soundtrack. Wait, honestly, oh, I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. I should have left the game's music on, like the music on within, like when I actually was doing the speed run, because then you could just hear that and that would be fine, and 0 effort editing or whatever. The reason I usually have it off is, well, because usually there's a lot of cuts and stuff in the video, and I want to have the music be like not be cut up all the time if I can do, if possible, usually. And but this is a speed run where I'm showing you pretty much the whole thing, so I technically didn't need to have the music off. Trying to remember why I had the music off, or I guess I just didn't think to turn it back on. Oh, I remember. I was listening to a podcast, I think, when I was like listening to a podcast, I think, when I was recording or doing the speed run, and but having the in-game music on would have still been fine while listening to a podcast. But I think I just didn't think of it, and it didn't bother me that there was no music just because I was listening to a podcast. Well, I'll try and remember for if I do another PB speedrun and upload that next time, I'll probably just leave the game music on for the recording. Oh, maybe with the music I could like semi-simulate it, like music randomly, or not randomly, but like playing and not playing like it does in the game. So instead of having like constant background music, I just like spread them out a little bit and like have it be the 100% the full track. So like if it just fades in and it just stops and starts like the music would in the game probably. And then that way it would be easier on my end. I don't have to worry about the transition between the songs, and then I don't have to worry about it being too repetitive, especially with using the same music, because then it won't be as condensed, it'll be spread out a bit more. Yeah, so if I had music, I might do it that way. But you already know what I did, because this is like, what, 40 plus minutes into the video. You've been listening to what I decided to do there. You're in the future, I am in the past. But then eventually, when you're watching this, I will be in the, well, the current me is not in the future. Future me will be in the future. I guess that makes sense because that's future me. I'm talking nonsense. I always talk nonsense. Although maybe you don't know that, because the vintage story videos that you've probably seen of mine are well edited and stuff. I talk nonsense if you don't know. New people that don't know how I be, I talk nonsense. This is how I do be do. Yeah. I'm the nonsense talker. All I do is talk nonsense. Yeah, if any of you have seen some of my like Minecraft videos in the past, or some of that other stuff, or just like like more, I don't know, videos where it's gonna be more my personality and less me explaining or like talking, less like guide-like videos, because those guide-like videos are like those guide vintage story videos that are like most of what I've posted, or me just talking about something, and not much of my quote-unquote personality comes through, or me being silly, because I'm just more focused on like giving you the information that I'm trying to give you and show you stuff, although some of my silliness does still come through sometimes, but I also usually in those videos don't want to soak up a lot of the time with too much nonsense. But in other types of videos where it's not like me trying to pass on a lot of info, it's just me like maybe playing a custom map in Minecraft, or just playing survival mode of something or whatever, a lot more of my silliness, stupidness comes through a bit. And yeah, hopefully I'll be able to just be more quote unquote silly, stupid, or just talk like this more in future, and some vintage story videos in the future. Obviously not all of them. I'll probably still do not probably, I'm definitely still gonna make more vintage story I don't want to call them guide videos, but that's the closest thing I can say, like guide videos, because they're not really guides sometimes. I don't know. But yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, right here, making charcoal pit. I mean, I'm sure you could tell what I was doing, maybe. But making a charcoal pit right there. Yeah, I wasn't fully paying attention. Did I put 4 blocks worth of firewood or just 3? I think I did 4. I'm gonna assume I did 4. But yeah, honestly, it's been a while since I've just like kind of talked a little bit more, slightly more casual at this point. I kind of started this video a little more in like my like mindset of like being informative to some extent, similar to those quote-unquote guide videos I've made, and I'm still doing that a little bit, but it's kind of very much turned a lot more to podcast / streaming kind of vibes, and it's been a while since I've done that, and it's definitely nice sometimes. Kind of just, you know, just talking casually. Okay, so right here I'm skipping time because I want to, because there's just a waiting game at this point. I'm just waiting for the fire pits to finish cooking, the pick kilns, whatever the heck they're called, and the charcoal pits. So I slept in bed to skip a lot of time. Now, because I just like lit them, I just lit the pit and the charcoal pit. When I came back from bed, I was just standing there because I was like, they weren't going to be done. And I think I was checking my phone when I was doing that. So that's probably why. I didn't actually notice it, or I don't think I noticed this when I was looking at the map when actually doing the speedrun. I didn't notice that icy area over there. Oh, I'm so curious what's over there now. Oh, but I was just checking the map there because I was like trying to see where the copper deposits were that I found, so that I have a rough idea where I need to go back to. And I think, yeah, right now I'm just making more tools because I think my okay, again, I have time to kill, so I just need to fill the time. So my knife was very low on durability, so I'm just making a new knife. I'm now making a shovel so that, or I think, was my shovel low on durability or did it break? I don't remember. But making a shovel. I might have made a second shovel, I can't remember, but I'm gonna need that shovel for digging up the dirt to get to the copper ore. And I'm just here throwing away items that I don't need clogging up my inventory anymore. Oh, right here. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing for once. So I'm actually getting more sticks, but for a different purpose. There was a lag spike, or there was a big spike in the game, and that was really annoying. But yeah, so I'm gathering sticks right now because I want to make the ladders. These are very not necessary, but I want to make ladders so I can just dig straight down where the copper deposits are and then just ladder my way back up, because I think that's slightly faster. I don't know if it's slightly faster, but that's what I chose to do. And here I'm like, not enough ladders. I want more ladders. So I'm making another axe. I didn't make any of the ladders yet. Well, now I'm making the ladders. Wait, no, I made a tongs first. I lied, I guess. All those sticks were just for one tong. Aha, I lied again. They were for ladders and a tong. Not gonna lie, the past like 20 minutes I've just been thinking about what I'm gonna eat after I finish recording this voiceover. Because I'm getting hungry and I'm thinking of what I'm gonna do. How lazy do I want to be in terms of making food? Oh yeah, there you saw my mouse movement there. I was like, no, I can't sleep in the bed. That's what I'm trying to kill time for here, is actually for the grace period of not being able to sleep in the bed again. Trying to wait that out so I can, well, skip more time again. And so I have my ladders in the game, and I'm just waiting to be able to sleep in the bed again. And so I think I'm just kind of running around for fun at this point. Oh no, actually, I think I know what I'm doing. I'm trying to see. Oh. Sorry, I got some gas in my throat. That would normally get cut out. But, what was our turn? Oh, yeah. So I think what I was actually doing here, I was actually looking around with a purpose. I wanted to try and see if I can find any more surface, like copper nugget deposits, whatever, because I just want to see if I can find one closer to where I have my like temporary hut and all the clay stuff. If I can find one closer, then when I'm ready to go out and collect it, I don't have to travel as far. Just trying to find more ways to cut down time for the speedrun. I don't know what I'm doing here on the map actually with zooming in here. I don't know what I think I can find. Am I like just looking at something? Maybe I was curious about something. I have zero clue what I'm doing. Yeah, still just looking around trying to see if I can spot any surface copper. But I think I'm also thinking, oh well, how long do I have until the bed timer resets and I can sleep in the bed again? So I'm like probably weighing my options of like, well, how much longer do I stay out here looking for closer deposits, or should I like just head back and make sure I can get in the bed as soon as possible? Oh, I did find another thing of copper. I was probably pretty stoked for that, and I think that is definitely closer to where I got all the clay stuff going on. So that was definitely a positive. And it looks like I'm still trying to see if I can find another one. Cause okay, so like one underground copper ore deposit, like surface, like near surface copper ore deposit, however you want to call those. I don't know what they're called. One of those is likely enough for a copper anvil, especially with the extra copper I got from the surface. It's probably enough. But I've had in like previous like off-camera attempts where like I mined out a node and it was not enough. So I think I was still trying to see if I can find a second one that's closer, just in case I have to go to a second one. But I did decide to make sure to come back because I should sleep in the bed as soon as possible, and finding a second nearby copper node isn't as high of a priority, because worst case, if I do need a second one, which I might not even need, I can just go to the other one. Yeah, so right here I'm able to sleep in the bed again, so I skipped some more time. I think I'm like looking at the clock to see the time passing by. Yep, skip the time to nighttime, and goody. All the ceramic stuff has been done. If I would just look over there, I don't know what I was looking at over there. But yeah, I'm like going right away to smelt the copper. Okay, yeah, it is 20 copper nuggets equals 100 units. So I measured out, or I put in 40 copper nuggets so I can get 200 units to smelt and put into the pickaxe mold and the hammer mold. Oh, but I think I'm still waiting for the charcoal pit. Oh, is that what I was looking at earlier? I think that's what I was looking at. I was trying to see if the charcoal pit was done. I can't smelt the copper if the charcoal's not done. Oh, those fireflies were really cool. Oh, and I think I'm just killing time. I'm like, I'll get some more sticks for more ladders. Sure, why not, you know? Or maybe I didn't have any more sticks and need them for the tool heads. Maybe that's what I was doing. Could be a combo of both reasons. I just do not recall. Oh, also with making the rope like way earlier, In case you don't know, you don't have to use cattails for the rope. You see like that vine I just collected in my inventory, the wild vine that I just placed? I think if you get 3 or 6 vines, I don't remember, but in the same way you would do with the cattails, but with the vines, you can also craft rope from that. So, in case you don't have cattails nearby and you need to make the tongs, but you have some vines, don't forget, you can do that. I don't remember if at this point if I did check recently and know that the charcoal pit is still running, because right now I feel like I did it, and I'm like in my head I'm like telling myself, please just go double check, because maybe the charcoal pit's done and you're wasting time right now. I'm like, no, go back, you're wasting time. Oh, and then here I was like, what? There's more red clay right there? I was probably like, whoa. Darn. I mean, it didn't really matter. If this was a survival world that I was actually gonna play in, then that could be cool, but yeah. And I'm just planting saplings for fun. Oh, the charcoal pit is still going. Like, okay, so what I'm looking for is the smoke particles like right down there. And you can see them, like it can be a little hard to sometimes distinguish them from the torches particles, but you definitely can, especially if you're paying attention to where they're coming from. But yeah, that's crazy. The charcoal pit still needs more time. I forget how long the charcoal pits take. Which is like, that's definitely another important factor to keep in mind, because even if you find peat to make your pit kilns go by faster, that kind of doesn't matter if you start your charcoal pit at the same time like I did, and because you can't make your charcoal pit go any faster, and then you're just still waiting on your charcoal pit, so it kind of ends up not mattering if you use peat. So if you do have peat, you're more beneficial to make the charcoal pit as good as possible, way quicker or whatever. When I've done these speedruns before, I've never attempted to try and not keep all the things that take time together. Because right here, I make my charcoal pit, I make my little like safety hut, and I like make my pit kilns like all in the same area, which does kind of mean I end up making the pit kilns and the charcoal pit at the same time a lot of the time. And so maybe it could be worth like making a charcoal pit literally right out the gate, but like when you spawn into a world. But what that would mean is that I would have to travel that distance back to there, and there's no telling how far away I'm going to be when I'm doing all the clay stuff. So that would be the downside of that. But it would be, but that's like a risk that like could pay off. So it could theoretically be worth doing. This is kind of unnecessary. I'm just like expanding it for fun, placing the things down. I'm still just waiting on the charcoal pit. Oh yeah, I think the charcoal pit is done now. And I think I'm just like absolutely making sure. I think I'm also like trying to make sure that it's not the torch particles that I'm seeing or not seeing come out of there. And right now I think I am looking towards like the edge at the bottom block there, just really trying to make sure that it is done, and I've decided that it is, because if you dig it up early before it's done, I think you mess up the charcoal pit. So I just was like being super cautious. I'm like, I need to be like 1,000% sure that it's done. Yeah, don't need to dig up the whole thing right away because I don't need it all right away, and I just want to smelt it as soon as possible. Yeah. So now we're back to another waiting game again, but this one won't take as long since smelting down the copper doesn't take too long. Yeah. You could be, so I'm actually very curious. I could probably look this up, but I actually don't know. I feel intuitively this is correct, but I don't know for sure. But I'm assuming the smaller the charcoal pit, the less time it takes for that charcoal pit to make charcoal. That maybe is wrong. Maybe any size charcoal pit takes the same amount of time, and maybe it's not that much quicker making a smaller one. I do not know. But like, assuming that is the case, assuming that a smaller charcoal pit is actually faster, then you probably don't want to do more. Sorry, I had something in my throat. That's why there's the long pause. But that's, so you probably wouldn't want to do what I did. You'd want to do probably no more than 2 blocks worth of firewood, because that should be enough charcoal, because you got to smelt this, and I put 4 pieces of charcoal in here, and like that hasn't fully smelted this, and then you're gonna have to smelt more again later for the copper anvil. So that's why I made that much charcoal, but it might be quicker, or it might be better to just make 2 blocks worth of firewood charcoal, and then maybe you can like save resources on your copper by actually smelting firewood. And this was something I didn't think about during the speedrun, but smelting firewood or peat, if you have it first, to get the temperature of the fire pit to the max of the firewood and or peat, and then use the charcoal so that you're not wasting as much charcoal to get the initial temperature high. So with a combination of that, you might be able to get away with a smaller charcoal pit, which then hopefully it gets done quicker. But right here, it's yippee, God, where we put it in the things. But I skipped the night anyways because I don't want to wait for the pickaxe and hammer to cool down. So I skipped the night so that they will cool down right away, and also for it to hopefully become daytime as well. That's definitely another reason. But now we have the pickaxe and the hammer, and I'm off immediately to go. Well, I should be off more immediately. I'm just throwing things away to make room in my inventory. Oh, for a second I thought I threw away the copper hammer, but I'm now off to the copper thing I found recently to go dig up some copper ore. So also how I mark it on my map, I take note of where all the copper nuggets are on the surface, and I try and just guesstimate just based off what's on the surface, like visually, like what roughly the middle of the average middle of all those nuggets. And then I'm like, okay, and that's where I try to mark it on my map as quote unquote the middle. And then when I go back to it, like here, I go to where my marker is, where is quote unquote the middle, maybe, and I dig straight down, and then I'll have my ladders to get back up. But then I will mine out pretty much all the copper ore, because I think we need 900 units of copper, so we pretty much need all the copper ore. But before you just blindly try and mine all the copper ore out, definitely mine a good amount, but then break it down with a hammer to see how much copper units you'll get out of it. Because just so you don't accidentally like mine more than you need to and waste time. So just spend a little bit of time to converting your inventory to the nuggets so you can see how many units it is, because you only need 900 units. I'm pretty sure. I've been saying 900 units this whole voiceover time, and I hope I've not been getting that number wrong, because I'm like 95% sure it's 900 units of copper for an anvil. Yeah, right here, I'm just like making sure there's not any extra copper ore I'm missing. Just double checking. Also, it looks like I didn't do what I recommended, which is to turn it all into the copper nuggets. But maybe I did that because the 25 might not be enough. Yeah, it honestly might not be. I don't think that's going to turn into enough. I could be wrong though. It might be enough. We'll see right here. That's enough, right? Wait. I'm gonna pull out my phone. I'm gonna do some math. Because that's like, what was that? Like 111 nuggets. They're worth like 5 each. Oh yeah, I'm dumb. That's definitely 900 units. Yeah, because 111 nuggets, all worth 5 units each. That's 555 units. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's more than enough, for sure. Yeah. Wait. No, that's not. What am I crazy? I'm crazy. Don't listen to what I'm saying at all. I just realized you were about to just type in the comments being like, aren't that so dumb and stupid? What is she talking about? She's so stupid. No. Okay, so 900 units is what you need for the anvil. But for some reason I got in my head that 500 units is enough because I've been saying 900 units, which I think is correct. But when it was time to be like, oh, is 500 units enough? I was comparing it at like, for some reason I was thinking 90 units in my head. So I was like, 500 is way more than 90. But I forgot the extra 0 for 900. So yeah, no, I definitely need like 400 something more units. And so I go off to another copper deposit that I found earlier to get the remainder units of copper. There's a good lesson there because if I didn't catch myself, that could have been bad. A good lesson to not blindly follow or 100% believe what people are saying sometimes, because they might accidentally say the wrong thing or get some info wrong or misspeak or other things. I don't know why I'm trying to break quartz right there. I think I forgot that I can't break quartz with a copper pickaxe because I wanted to try and go through the quartz to get to the copper. But I think I'm now just realizing that I would have to dig around the quartz, which is likely a big patch of quartz. And I'm like, I ain't waiting for that. And so I dig myself out, not using my ladders for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, no, this is why. I'm trying to see if I can find the copper in a different area, but then I'm just like, oh no, the quartz are just gonna be everywhere. And so I'm pretty sure I'm still checking. I'm eventually gonna be like, there's too much quartz. I need to leave. This is not worth it. And I go for a different copper deposit. Oh my gosh, me, you should have left by now. You know that, like, when you see a quartz ore, it's likely a lot of quartz ore. Sigh. Oh, I do end up using a ladder. Yeah, so I end up just going for the copper deposit just south of me from there. And we struck copper. Now this one, I'm pretty sure I, like, before mining out all the copper, like, checked with the hammer to see how many units I have, because I only need like less than 400 units of copper now. And so definitely don't need everything that's down here, likely. And so it would be a waste of time to just mine all the copper out for the speedrun. Yep, I'm checking right now, right here. Yeah, that's 60 pieces. Oh gosh, what's the math? I forget. I might have pulled up a calculator during the speedrun as well. So we got 60 pieces times 5. Yeah, that's 300. Yeah, and I think I realized, like, I probably can get away with, like, under 400. But I don't I think during the speedrun, I also don't remember the number. And so I just, I'm just gonna get some more. I think I'm gonna, like, make sure I'm just near 400 or 400 units or whatever. Also, zinc ore right there. That's cool. We don't need zinc, but that's cool. Yeah, that's gotta be enough, right? Yeah, I'm like even thinking that. It's like, that's gotta be enough. Yeah, 88. That's definitely enough because 20 is 100. No, stop mining. Stop past me. Stop mining. Because 20 nuggets is 100 units. And I had 66 or whatever before. Now I have like 88 something. And I only need 100. No, stop. Stop. You're stupid. Think. Use your thinky brain. Oh, did the game kind of stutter again here? Whoa, what is going? Oh, I'm tabbed out. That's what's going on there. I'm using a calculator and I was tabbed out. That's why the game looked like it froze. I forgot that the game does that when tabbing. I really wish that the borderless full screen mode for vintagestory worked, because I love borderless full screen mode so I can have a proper full screen, but it can work like a border screen so I can tab out without the game like doing like pausing or freezing like that, or like disappearing on my screen entirely and stuff. I really wish that got fixed / properly implemented. But regardless, I just checked my handy dandy calculator there likely and saw that I was being stupid and had enough copper units, and so heading on back now to finish the deed, finish the job. Oh, and right there I ran into, I think, definitely one wolf. There might have been a second wolf, but it went by a little too quickly. But secret trick to not dying by wolf, just keep running away in a single direction and you'll eventually run far enough away to where it doesn't want to hurt you. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot to mention something. Why did I pick Malefactor at the beginning of the speedrun? Well, one, Malefactor is just out of the vanilla classes. It's just a pretty decent class. But I think there's two main reasons why I chose it. One, because of the slightly enhanced just walking / running speed boost. Like you can walk / run slightly faster. And then second, you actually have a decreased detection range, so it's harder for wild animals, or like they have a smaller range until they notice you. Like they can still notice you, especially if you run right up to them like I just did with the wolves. But they're you'll have a slightly better chance of walking away from it. Oh, another reason is you get more stuff when you forage, which is great for a speedrun here when you just need quick, easy food. So you get more berries and more stuff from the wild crops for just foraging. And all its debuffs essentially don't impact the speedrun pretty much. I think you get like a ranged weapon debuff and maybe another debuff, I can't remember. But like some of the debuffs for some of the other classes, like less ore or something, like less ore drop rate, that's horrible for the speedrun. So there might be other good reasons to pick Malefactor. There might be other good reasons to pick some of the other classes for this type of speedrun, but those are the reasons why I went with Malefactor. So yeah. We got darn right here. We got smelting up our 900 units of copper. We're gonna gosh darn put that in our anvil mold, and we'll gosh darn get ourselves a gosh darn good copper anvil. Oh gosh, this is gonna take a bit and I really need to go to the bathroom. So I'm gonna speed run going to the bathroom right now. I'm going to the bathroom, BRB. All right, I'm back. How is paint drying simulator going? Paint watching drying simulator. Well, it looks like I made it with plenty of time. Yeah, there definitely do just be a lot of just waiting parts in the speedrun. Just wait, especially this last part. This last waiting part, as far as I'm aware, is pretty much very unavoidable. Well, okay, I guess it's avoidable if you're able to sleep during this part. Like, if you can time sleeping during this part, then it's avoidable. But I don't think I could sleep right then. Also, you can see I kind of did some inefficiencies and mistakes because, like, I didn't have a charcoal ready, and so, like, it went down in temperature and now had to reheat up a little bit again. You can see with my mouse I was getting a little impatient. I was like, come on. But here we go. We have the liquid copper pouring into the liquid anvil, which will soon become a solid anvil. This is what the speedrun's all about, baby. And here's the waiting game part 2. Oh, but this is what I use the sleeping for, is for that to cool down. I don't know if it cooling down is faster or it takes just as long as it does to smelt it. So I don't know which part is better to skip with the bed. That would be something to think about for another time. Oh, it was super dark. It was nighttime. But there we go, the copper anvil. And I think I tab out right now to go stop the timer. And an hour and 20 minutes is my personal best for this speedrun. Let's go. But yeah, there's the speedrun. Thank you so much for watching. I enjoyed doing this. This was fun. I wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy doing the voiceover, honestly, but I did kind of end up enjoying it since I kind of almost turned it into like a podcast. But yeah, thank you so much. I might do this again sometime. Let me know what you thought about this video, if you want more of this, and yeah, just in general, thank you, and I'll see you later. Bye.